You must be wondering what's inside that bag, but I'm doing a one-to-one workshop with one of our customers, and I believe this is quite a challenging tree. So Matt, if you don't mind opening the bag, I won't get you into it. So what is it? It's a azalea or rhododendron.
Yeah, rhododendron, I think.
Okay. So it was growing in a rockery, and I believe it's about 25 years old.
Something like that.
Yeah. The beauty of this plant is the contorted branches and that very thick trunk at the base. It's got some movement, but unfortunately the branches or the trunks are too long. So you must be saying this is going to be a real challenge, and it is a challenge. So let's see what we make out of this. Okay, so I'm looking at it and thinking about it. So here is the tree on the turntable. I'm going to turn it around to see which is the nicest side. We should always keep an open mind. But at the moment, because the trunk here is more visible, I'm inclined to go for this as the front side. So I will tease away some of the soil to see what happens. So I just show you what Matt is doing. We are now teasing the other side, which we thought would be the back, but if we prod a little more, we will be surprised what we find. There could be a thick trunk right below. So all these roots which this plant has sort of self-layered, touching the ground, if we cut it off, we can probably find some nice thick trunk. So we will tease a little more, and I bet you there will be a lovely trunk. Okay, now let us prod around and see what trunk there is. I think we will have to get rid of these. I'm not going to make gins with them. That very straight branch that's doing nothing. No roots on that. You see how these roots have formed just by touching the ground. Don't need that. So there's a clearly visible trunk like that. Very interesting. So I'm revealing more and more trunk. There's another thick root coming from there, which is doing nothing. All these little thin branches, I'm being careful not to remove them in case I need to use it. But these rhododendrons have very brittle branches, so the chances of wiring them are not that great, but I will keep it nonetheless to see what I can make with it. So straight away, I have now produced quite a thick base, quite a thick trunk. There's a lot of woody trunk in there. Rockeries are a rich source for bonsai. I know not many people make rockeries nowadays, but back in the 60s and 70s, making rockeries with miniature plants and alpines was all the rage. So rockeries which are still growing have this very versatile use, as it were. Dwarf conifers, dwarf alpines, dwarf rhododendrons. So you can see that beautiful trunk I've got. All that is trunk, although it's covered in mud. If it were jetted off, you'll see the woody trunk. All that is wood, about 2 inches thick, all trunk. So what we thought was the front, in fact it could be this side or that side, is very interesting. This can now be the front rather than the other side. But of course, if you put it in a round pot, you can admire the tree from every side. This is where you must never just accept that just because the tree is lying in a particular position, it has to be that at the front. Not so. All these fine roots I'm getting rid of because I know that there's a big trunk, and the big trunk has got more roots below that. So all that is trunk, all that is trunk. All that is trunk. See, it makes it look a more powerful tree. So now it's just a question of finding what is the most interesting trunk line.
So will the fact that it's got a lot of root growing out of it affect the appearance of the trunk? Will it bark up over time?
It will bark up. No, we've only removed these roots which laid themselves. See, like these branches here, they've touched the soil, so they've laid themselves. In fact, you can make a new plant over. Let me just cut this one off because I don't think I need this one. I don't think I need this one. You see all the roots on this one. This will make a new plant, so you can pot that up and you get a nice small literati tree out of it, which we might well do. So we won't waste anything. So that will make a nice tree on its own, in a small pot. There you go.
Very nice.
Okay, so nothing is wasted, nothing is wasted. Now we've got to find a trunk line for the main tree. If we get the right combination, it will look very good. Now, if you look closely, these two are crossing trunks, and we don't need the two. One of them has to go, and I think it's quite easy. This is more interesting than the rear one, so we will get rid of the back one. So it's all what we call a method of elimination. Just by eliminating it step by step, the tree will emerge. lovely flower buds on this tree.
The branches seem to be very springy. Does that mean that if we do wire them, as soon as we take the wire off, it'll go back to where it was, or will it?
Well,
will it actually
we have
change
to
shape?
keep the wire on for a long time. I think this low branch doesn't seem to do anything. Another little literati, see they're all rooted, so they're all going to make individual plants. Ideally we want the tree that small, but if I cut everything off, it may not look as if anything is live, so I'm going to keep some live stuff. Obviously dead branches.
It was starting to struggle a bit before it was dug out.
It's well
being
alive.
out-competed.
Yeah,
that branch is quite happy.
I'm going to wire these two branches. Okay, let's have a look. So this is where we're getting to. So I'm trying to create a triangular shape, so we've got a little more wiring to do. So let me show you where we've got to. We're removing some of the very muddy clay soil, reducing the root ball a little bit. There are a lot of roots, so not a problem removing some of them. And look at it, look at this tree. This is the original front, which we thought didn't have much promise, but it turns out to be quite nice from this side. And we were working earlier on using this as the front. Even this is nice. So I'm now going to wash some of the roots from the trunk, the soil from the trunk, and I will reveal more trunk. So I've now washed the soil from the top of the roots, so you can see all that complicated mass of roots. And let's look at the other side. This is also interesting. I don't think we need that. Can cut that off.
This one?
Yeah. No, this. Can cut that off. So what we thought originally as the front may still be the front. It's quite nice this side. A lot of character on that tree. And once the tree fills out, we can reduce the canopy once you get more growth, but there's no growth there, but it will come. Then you can reduce the height a little bit. But the beauty is in that lovely trunk. And we're going to now put it in a pot. So here we are. The final image of the tree put in its bonsai pot. We chose an oval pot, cream pot, to contrast with the mauve flowers. By no means finished. You can dress it with better rock. And I think this tree looks nice from either side. Either side is nice, but I think you see the trunk better from our original front. So you're happy?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So
Yeah,
it was almost an impossible
Hard
tree.
to believe that there was a what was basically a ball of mud with
Yeah.
some sticks poking out of it. It's become a tree.
Okay, great. Thank you.